Hello, dear friend. You are watching the 2022 Astrology Horoscope for people who have their sun or rising sign in Capricorn, just like me. So in this video, we are going to talk about the most important astrology events and how they can affect Capricorn. We are going to start with one of the most interesting things during 2022, which is Venus being retrograde in Capricorn. We'll also talk about Mars being retrograde at the very end of the year, also the regular Mercury retrograde cycles, and something which doesn't happen each year, and this is about the ingression of the Lunar Nodes. This is kind of like a new area of opportunities or a new direction or kind of like a new door which can open up. So the Lunar Nodes can be very important for our growth and our success. We will also talk about the interesting stuff that Jupiter is doing, and Jupiter is actually pretty active during 2022 with a couple of ingressions back and forth, plus important aspects with the slower planets. Plus, Jupiter will be in a pretty important sign for Capricorn. So we are going to spend some time talking about this. And also Saturn, which is our ruler, and the outer planets and how they can affect us. So before we get started, I also want to invite you to join MarStars membership, which is our new platform for astrology and other spiritual topics. We have one live webinar on a different astrology topic each month, plus a Q&A session. Plus, you get access to all of my courses, including the upcoming ones. So you can literally get all the astrology you need in one place. And the best news is that you have a free trial, so you can sign up without any risk. More on that at the end of the video, and of course, you can check the links below and sign up now. And with that being said, let's jump straight into the first event of the year. Venus being retrograde in Capricorn. It will continue until the 29th of January. So basically for the whole month, we are gonna experience this. And everything which triggers first house will affect our expression, our behavior, our attitude towards ourselves. So you can expect some emotional reactions. You can expect also lots of retrospections and reassessments of our actions, our goals, our plans. And of course, love can be very, very important. You might need to reassess this area of your life and your needs and your desires. And sometimes we may need to go through a crisis, emotional or in terms of our relationships, so that we can make better choices and move forward. So generally, this is not a good time for brand new relationships or marriages, but you might restart an old relationship, or you might be able to look deeper into your own emotions and your state and your experiences and work on this level. So in just a few words, it's a big emotional transformation. So yeah, you might want to take this time for yourself and maybe slow down a little bit. Then we are jumping straight to the end of the year, the last 2 months, when Mars will be retrograde. And this is also something quite rare. It happens once in 2 years, actually. So Mars will be retrograde for 2 months in your 6th house. And it means that you need to be extra careful with work, with some daily responsibilities, and also with health. It's possible that things might be kind of slower, or you may need to reassess something or change it or improve it. And it's not the best time for new business activities or applying for a new job or starting a new job. Unless, of course, this is supposed to be something temporary. In that case, that's totally fine. But if you want it to be long-lasting, you better do it before or after this retrogradness. So the last 2 months, more attention on work, career, and health. Next, we will talk about the lunar nodes, which are kind of like bringing new opportunities and opening new doors for us. The North Node is the one which shows where we can focus on, where we can grow, where we can expand. This is kind of like the future direction. And after the 19th of January, the North Node shifts to 5th house, which is actually, in my opinion, one of the most beneficial houses in the chart. It's related to love, creativity, self-expression, joy, fun, entertainment, kids, basically all the nice and good stuff in life. So we can open up to this and enjoy it and kind of like connect to our creative side. So a great time to focus on your own desires, on the things that you love, the things that you are passionate about. On the other side, the South Node moving to 11th house means that you shouldn't care so much about the opinion of other people. You shouldn't care so much about what others will say or think. It's more about your desires and being your own cheerleader in a way. Plus, also, this is the time when you really need to allow the heart to guide you. 5th house represents the heart and 11th house represents the mind. And many of us are pretty good with listening to the mind. Generally, Capricorn could be a more practical sign or more grounded sign in some cases. So very often the mind works, and it works well and kind of like a lot. But sometimes we don't listen to the heart. And this is a great time for us to pay more attention to the heart and listen to it and follow the heart. So that could be, again, emotionally very transformational. And overall, I think that this is one of the big themes for 2022 for Capricorn. Emotional transformation and opening of the heart. Another interesting period, event, comes around the middle of the summer, July and August. This is the time when Uranus will be in conjunction with the North Node in 5th house. And this can bring incredible creative energy, something new, something exciting and surprising and uplifting. There could be some instability, and we need to be really more flexible with creative projects. When it comes to love, there may also be different surprises. Sometimes it could be a nice one, like out of the blue you're falling in love, or somehow your relationship is much better. But there might be also the other unexpected surprises, which are kind of like shocking you a little bit, or you're just not that prepared for them. In terms of kids, there may also be surprises, so something new, something different may show up in this area. And again, please don't forget about the creativity and the spontaneous self-expression. I think that this will be kind of a key theme during 2022. Next, we are going to talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefactor and the planet which can bring success and prosperity. And Jupiter is pretty active. Between January and April, and then again November, December, Jupiter is in 3rd house, which is especially beneficial for some kind of intellectual projects, for having more ideas and kind of like being successful with using and applying those ideas in reality. You can expand the circle of friendship or communication with other people. Plus, you may also have an opportunity to travel or to learn new things. During the rest of the year, which is May through October, Jupiter is in the 4th house, which is one of the most important houses in the chart. It's a very private, very personal area. It relates to home and family, and it could be also related to properties. So those are the months where when you can expand, or you may have positive experiences related to your family, or why not purchasing a new home or moving to a better and usually bigger place. So overall, there could be interesting and important changes in terms of your personal life and closest environment. Next, we are going to talk about the important Jupiter aspects with the outer planets. The first one is during February, and it will trigger Jupiter in 3rd and Uranus in the 5th house. And this, my friends, is incredible for creative ideas and new connections with other people and new friendships, and also self-expression, especially if you can do it verbally or on social media. That might be really, really great. Then during April, there is an amazing conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune, again in 3rd house. And this is also a wonderful opportunity for new ideas and learning new things and feeling really inspired and really connecting with your intuition. And this can feel amazing. And it may also bring you some amazing ideas and real things in life. So honestly, I guess that this is the thing I'm most excited about during 2022, or at least it's in the top 3. This Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in 3rd house can bring some amazing ideas and opportunities, especially for creativity and something which includes the imagination. And the last of those positive Jupiter aspects is during May. Jupiter in 3rd with Pluto in 1st. And this may feel very empowering. You may feel more confident. You may believe more in yourself, in your ideas. You may also take action on your ideas. So it's again related to some kind of idea, but also the actions that can be taken. And we need to kind of like focus on both of those, and it can be truly amazing and transformational and inspirational. So this is also a great opportunity for Capricorn. Next, we will talk about eclipses, which are just emphasizing the influence of the lunar nodes. And we already mentioned that lunar nodes are in 5th and 11th house. So those are the 2 life areas that we need to focus on. The first eclipse is during April, and it will be a solar one triggering the North Node. Or in simple words, this is a very transformational period which can help you to focus on the future. The North Node is again the future direction and the potential area of growth. So it can be again very creative and inspirational, and really helping you to focus on the future. Then during May, there is a lunar eclipse in 11th, 5th house, which is more about balancing the mind and the heart, your role in your community or with your friends, and on the other side, your own projects and your own desires. Also, there is another one around October, the end of October, which is a solar eclipse, but it will trigger the South Node. So it's more about processing the past, perhaps letting something go and transforming something when it comes to communities and friendship and overall your ideals and plans about the future as well. And the last eclipse is during November. It's a lunar eclipse which triggers 5th and 11th house, so also balancing and finding kind of like the sweet spot between the heart and the mind and their desires. Also, you may focus on changes in terms of creative project or creative expression or anything that has to do with love or your hobbies or even your kids. Next, we will talk about Mercury retrograde. We are having 3 full cycles of Mercury retro plus 1 which begins at the very end. The most important is the first one because it will first trigger some practical things like money and resources. But then Mercury is moving to Capricorn, which means that personally we may feel really triggered, and there could be some personal changes. Then during May and June, Mercury is retrograde in 6th and 5th house, which first affects your work and daily routines and business activities, and then can affect more the creative projects or love or personal expression. Then September and October, we have another cycle, which is also pretty important. First, it will trigger 10th house, which is career, business, your vocation. And then it will move to 9th, which is more about long-term plans and goals, traveling or learning. And at the very end, after basically the 29th of December, Mercury is retrograde again in Capricorn. So this may also be kind of important, but it's only for the last few days of the year. So during those times, it's better to avoid new projects related to those particular life areas. Be more careful and focus on improvements and fixes and doing things in a different way. Now, let's move on to Saturn. Saturn is important because this is the ruler for Capricorn. And Saturn is in Aquarius, the next sign, our neighbor sign. And this represents the 2nd house, which is about money, resources, energy, material stuff, practical results, the tangible world, the reality, nature, the body. So many things that are really related for our life on the earth, I would say, like the practical things that are important here. So we need to be more organized. We need to be more responsible with those same things. As we said, money, resources, energy, health, body, all of those stuff. And Saturn also likes to test us. And we need to show that we are grown-ups, that we are mature enough. If not, we may need to work on that. So perhaps become more responsible when it comes to money or the practical things in your life. And overall, Saturn really brings what we deserve. There might be delays, however, so we need to be aware of this. And my advice is work and kind of like do the right thing when it comes to money and practical things. And just know that you will see those results, even if there are delays. So this is something pretty important for Capricorn for 2022. Next, let's talk about the outer planets. Uranus is kind of a big friend of ours during 2022. It's in a friendly sign, Taurus, and it will be between the 11th and the 19th degree. If your sun or rising sign is somewhere between those degrees, plus minus 1-2 degrees, that's great because it means that Uranus will trine your sun or rising sign. And it's a great time for changes, for new opportunities, for creative self-expression, for excitement and creativity and surprising love and emotions. So this may feel really nice and can help us to also experience more variety in life. So Uranus is a big friend of ours. Neptune is also pretty friendly. Neptune is in 3rd house between 21st, 26th degree of Pisces. If your sun or rising sign is somewhere between those degrees in Capricorn, it means that Neptune will have a sextile with your sun or rising sign, and this is pretty nice. You may feel more inspired, more intuitive, your imagination can really support you, and overall you might be more intuitive in communication and connection with other people. If if you don't have your sun or rising sign in between those degrees, Neptune can just be kind of a background situation. And of course, you also need to check if your rising sign is in Capricorn, maybe the cusp of your third house is between those degrees. So this will also bring a pretty significant influence on your communication, on the way your mind works, on the process of thinking and all of this. And finally, the most important of all, Pluto. Pluto is the most transformational planet and the planet which can bring the most intense changes. And it is in Capricorn, but it won't be equally important to everyone. Here, the degrees are extremely important. So you need to check if your sun or rising sign is between 26, 29th degree plus minus 1, 2 degrees. Pluto will make a conjunction. And this is really the biggest transformation ever. It's a once in a lifetime aspect, and I can share personal experience because I have already been through this conjunction. My sun is in the previous degrees, so it already happened in the past. And it was pretty big. It was pretty hard, but also very rewarding at the end. The time when you can really kind of like go on an adventure in the underworld or the world of the subconscious mind, but also you can transform things and you can be renewed in a way. So if you have a Pluto transit, know that it's a long one, and very often you don't understand it while you're in the midst of it. But from the distance of time, you can tell better. And it will be something big and something meaningful. So with that, we are finished with our prediction. Very interesting, exciting 2022. Thank you so much for joining me and have an amazing 2022. Don't forget to sign up for your free trial for MarStars membership. It will give you access to all of my courses, including the natal astrology course. So it includes everything you need to know about foundational astrology and how you can interpret signs, planets, and aspects and houses. So we have more than 50 hours of lessons here, which will teach you everything you need to know about natal astrology. We also have Karmic Astrology course, which is a pretty extensive one and will help you to do more advanced readings. On top of that, you also receive access to live webinars. Each month, we are having a special webinar on an astrology topic and another one, which is a Q&A session. So you can come and ask all of the questions you have, which are astrology related. You get access to all of the pre-recorded courses, plus the future ones. And there are other surprises like monthly horoscopes. We have our community and also other spiritual courses and energy practices and much more in the future. So make sure to check the link below or go to marstars.net and sign up for your free trial.